What are your top 10 players in 2017? Let's save that for the end. It starts at 4. You know, no one cares, huh? They just don't care, huh? Is it just me, or do character ditto fights feel harder than fighting other characters? It's a matchup thing, right? So some people are better at fighting their own character than others, right? I know I'm better fighting Sheik Marth than I am Sheik. Maybe it's because I don't like chain grabbing, but hey, you know. Another story entirely. Sheik versus Sheik, Marth versus Marth, I don't think those matchups, you know, you work as much as Fox Marth or, you know, Sheik Falco or something like that. Which non-god do you think will be the next God Slayer? Is Plup considered a god? If Plup's not considered a god, then Plup. I've been watching Plup ever since he switched to Sheik, and it's been fantastic to watch. I love my boy Zane. He's got a ton of potential. You know, I don't think SFAT or Axe, you know, I don't think any of those guys are going to be a God Slayer. I think they can take sets off gods, but I don't think they're going to be a God Slayer. I think Zane has potential. For as little as he's been playing and how good he is, I think it's possible, but we'll just have to see. How do I get better at tech chasing as Marth? It always seems like they pick the option I'm not covering. Who are you tech chasing as Marth is what I want to know. You're talking about Falcon? Because if it's Fox and Falco, you should just be up throwing and comboing there. Yeah, I don't know who you're tech chasing as Marth. Falcon maybe? I mean, if you have Fox or Falco, you should just be throwing them up. I mean, Sheik, you should be throwing her up, you know. You want to get that positional advantage, and that's the best place for Marth to combo someone is when they're above him. If someone's always picking the option that you're not covering, and maybe you're being predictable when it comes to what you're trying to cover. There's a couple of videos I have where, you know, I'll forward throw someone with Marth against the edge of the stage, and then they'll roll behind me and I'll smash them. Okay, so there's more to it than just me guessing. I kind of bait them to roll past me. So let's say I'm going this way, right? So I'm going this way, I forward throw someone with Marth, and I'm walking, and I start walking towards them very slowly. Okay, they're like, oh, he's walking towards me. I'm gonna roll behind him. I see I'm conditioning them to roll behind me because I'm moving forward, and then I switch as they roll behind me. Pay attention to the way you're moving and the way your character is acting. Like, how are you moving? If you're not moving, what do you do before they tech? A good way to practice this is record your matches, okay? Record your matches, and every time you get into that situation, pause and write down which way they teched and why. Or like, you know, what did you do in response to them teching? See if there's anything you notice, like, wow, every time I moved to the left, or every time I moved towards them, they did this. Every time I stood in place, they did this, you know? Eventually, this gets a little more intuitive, but yeah, it's probably you're being predictable. I don't. What was the outro song you were talking about? Oh, that's a great song. Oh, yeah, let me play a little clip. Put a link to the song at the bottom of the video, okay? The new setup looks really good. Hope to see more of this. Oh, you know it. What are your top 10 players in 2017? Whew, that's always the question, isn't it? Okay, no question. Armada Hungrybox, Mango Muta King, Leffen Plup. For sure, obviously. Zane's gonna get there pretty soon. I don't know how well Axe did overall, but I think Axe is still in top 10. I think SFAT is in top 10. I know who I want to be in top 10. But yeah, those guys for sure. Other than that, I'm not too sure. You know, Crush is making a lot of movement, so I'm sure he'll be top 10 in 2018. What is Cotton Eye Joe's point of origin? Where did he come from? Where did he go? Where did he come from? I don't know. I can't find the right timing to perfect pivot. Okay, let's take Marth for example, right? So when Marth dashes, he gets very low to the ground, right? And when he stands up, he's very tall. Okay. So as you're dash dancing back and forth, he gets really low to the ground, and right when he turns around, he goes straight up, and he goes back to his dashing animation again, right? So to get a perfect pivot, what you want to do is click A right when he gets up, straight up. Okay, if you too early or too late while he's still dashing, that's when you get your dash attack. You gotta click A when he's in that upward state. Randall the Cloud is in reverse. Randall does what he wants. Absolutely. Yeah, that's the first rule of Smash is Randall cannot be trusted. Randall does what he wants, so don't rely on him. Sweet setup, dude. Looking forward to not playing you again soon. Yeah, man, thanks. I actually really enjoy it. Now, as soon as I get my PC, I'm going to be ecstatic. But I ordered it. I put it together on a site that will go unnamed, and they're not going to even ship it for 3 or 4 weeks. And I got 2 days shipping. I got 2 days shipping. They're like, well, if there's 15 days of processing. And I'm like, oh my god, really? So I have to wait 3.5 weeks for my 2-day shipping. It's just like, it's great. Awesome. Thank you. Great. Awesome. Why do you call yourself Senpai? Great question, actually. And I get this question all the time. Okay, so Senpai with an N means like senior, right? So notice me Senpai, that's kind of like freshman in school and sophomore. Notice me Senpai, you're my Senpai, right? Senpai with an M means more or less the same thing, but in the karate world it means senior student. So that means you're like the head of the class. You're not the sensei, but you're the head of the class. And then you might be wondering, okay, why don't you just call yourself sensei? Because if your mindset is sensei, that means you're no longer, well, depending upon your definition of sensei, that means you're the teacher, you're no longer learning, you're no longer improving, and all you're doing is improving other people. Okay? So for senpai, I want to be the best, I want to be the best of everyone there, but I'm also improving myself. Okay? You never stop learning. Sensei, senseis get a lot of bad rep that they kind of get comfortable with the stuff they know, and then they don't go out looking for more information. That's just a terrible mindset to have. No one knows everything, okay? No one knows everything, so you can always learn. You can always learn something from someone, right? It's kind of the reason why I'm doing this, because I can explain something maybe in a slightly different angle. It might be the exact same thing you've heard a million times, but if it's a slightly different angle, you might actually be like, oh, yeah, okay, I get it now. Because I'm a martial artist, right? So in my dojo, I was always the senior student, and I basically still am, although I teach mostly now. Yeah, it's just kind of something I grew up with. It's a funny story, actually, I used to be called Boss. That was my old tag, Boss. There's actually a player that still plays called Boss, and I'm like, in 2008, I'm like, I'll stop playing, and he never stopped playing. I'm like, well, shit, I gotta change my tag. It took me a long time to figure it out, but I eventually settled on Senpai, and I'm like, wow, that's perfect. It takes my karate passion, smash passion, and just, puts them together. That's kind of why my channel is those two, Okay, I think that's all of them. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have a question, leave in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.